go down the curb. Alright, well, here it is. So, HadesOmega wanted to do a Livewire test ride, and we're going to go do it. So, the way they do it here at San Jose Harley Davidson is they're going to pull out 2 live wires, and then I'm going to go follow the leader, basically, you know. So I really probably can't mess around with it too much, so I'm just gonna follow the leader, and then I'll tell you guys what I think about it, you know. Maybe I'll tell you the whole story, because I came here earlier and they wouldn't let me ride it, so, but today I'm fortunate enough to be able to ride it today, so that's a good thing. So there it is. It's the orange one, or the coppery colored one. I like the black one, by the way. I like the black one. Looks sweet, man. It looks mean. So it is on. I think it's on. He just wrote it out here. It's got LED lights. Pretty sweet looking bike. So this is marketed as a power cruiser, is what they call it. I will put the specs for the bike at the beginning of the video. Hop on. Yeah. So I guess it has like a key fob, so I gotta go kickstand up, hit the start button, and I think there we go. Alright, let's go for a ride. Oh, I'm reaching for the shifter already. I just rode my KLR, so. Alright,
ready?
Yep. Alright, here we go. Sorry, I forgot the dude's name. But we're gonna go for a ride here, so. So like I said, this thing is marketed as a power cruiser. It's a very sporty riding position. Oh my god, there we go. It gets to 40 pretty quick. Okay, so I'm just gonna follow him. I'll try not to follow too closely, but I wonder if the regen turns on when it does regen, does the brake lights turn on, kind of like a Tesla does? Feels very good, very solid. I don't hear too much stuff rattling around and stuff. I can feel the regen slow me down. I'm not going to mess around with any of the controls. This is going to be a 4-mile test ride, guys. It's going to be really tame, I think. I don't know if we're going to get to go on the freeway. The dude doesn't have any serious gear on right now, so I think we're just going to go for a cruise around the block, so. But I should be thankful for just that. But look at this dude. This dude is flat-footing it, so I can heel foot this bike. It's I'm 5'10", 175 pounds. There's tiny little mirrors. One of the mirrors aren't really adjusted right for me, but I think I got it. Okay, I don't know how many miles this bike has, but it says it's at 69%. There's just a little graph on the bottom that tells you how much percentage you got state of charge, and then it has a speedometer in the center. And it's got these 2 little green lights on the left and the right. There's a green circle with a thunder lightning bolt on it. I think that means it's on. And then there's an S on the upper right corner, so I think that's sport mode. Woo, man! It's smooth. It feels a lot like riding a zero motorcycle. A lot like. Okay, so how do the turn signals work? Kind of funky on this bike. These have self-canceling turn signals. Oh, I tried to do some supermoto action. It doesn't feel right. I just rode my. Oh my god. Oh. Wow. It goes, man. It goes. Remember, I just watched the drag race. They were saying like this is the fastest. It's like one of the fastest electric bikes, production bikes to go down the quarter mile. I won't say it's the fastest, but it's pretty fast. It's like 11 seconds, they said. So, and Ewan and Charlie rode these to LA from the southern tip of South America. That has not. That's called a Long Way Up. If you guys don't know. So. I'm looking forward to watching it in a couple days. It's coming out. So there's San Jose BMW. They sell zero motorcycles here. Very smooth, very quiet. It's got a little bit of a whirring sound. It's a little bit louder than the zero bike. is what I want to say. The Zero bike is like totally silent, where this kind of has a little, it sounds like the Impulse. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like a quieter Impulse is what it is. Yep, just play follow the leader. I follow the leader. So there's a black Livewire. I like the black one, by the way. It's got a little hugger in the back. I shot another video with some close-ups and stuff of the bike, so check that out at the end of the video. That was my last test riding experience. I did not even get a test ride. So the turn signals are kind of funky on this, man. I'm not used to it. I'm not used to Harley turn signals. Very easy to ride. It's a very sporty riding position, I have to say. It's not very tall, but you lean forward a lot. Yeah, it doesn't feel like a cruiser. The foot pegs are they're in this, I would say they're like mid controls, but they're kind of high, you know? Your knees are bent a lot. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus. It goes. I wish I could take it on the freeway. The bars are pretty wide too. Bars are kind of wide. They're kind of low, I guess. See how tucking feels pretty good with it. Yeah, you could actually tuck. I can feel my chest on the tank. So this does have DC fast charging. You can charge it to 80%. I don't know, that's something like 30 minutes or something like that. Oh my god, dude, yes, it goes. It just pulls. Nice. Well, thanks San Jose Harley Davidson for the ride. You know, I like it. For $30,000, it's a pretty expensive electric bike though. And, you know, honestly, this is a short test ride. You're not really going to see its full capabilities. But, you know, I thought it was comfortable to ride. Yeah, it is really comfortable to ride. It's really sporty riding position. I like the black one. The black one looks sweet. I would like a midnight blue one, Harley Davidson. Oh, almost got a full twist there. Oh, there we go. That was a full twist. Woohoo! Man, it goes. Nice. Alright, well, so that's the end of the test ride. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It definitely goes, man. It's like riding a Zero. It does feel like riding a Zero, but it's a little more, it's really aggressive riding position. Should I just leave the bike here, or should I, Alright, hey, HadesOmega here, and we're going for a ride on my Sur Ron Light Bee. So this is going to be the Harley Davidson video. So I wanted to do it on an electric bike. To tell you the truth, the Livewire sounds a lot like a Light Bee. Yeah, it does. That kind of belt line. That's what the Livewire sounds like. Okay, yeah. So since I'm talking about the sound of the Livewire, let's talk about it. HadesOmega's just gonna ride, and I'm gonna talk about it. All right. Well, anyway, let me talk about my experience. I came in and okay, so this is what happened. I had seen on Facebook, again, this is the second time this has happened. I saw on Facebook, hey, go test ride a Harley Davidson, you know? Schedule a test ride with Harley Davidson. I see it all the time on Facebook, and you know, it works. It makes me want to go ride one, you know? If it's one thing Harley Davidson is good at, is advertising, you know? They make me want to ride one, you know? I never see anything on Facebook that say, hey, go ride an Energica, Merlin. Okay? But anyway, so yeah, that's how they wrote me into they wrote me into trying to ride a Livewire again. So I scheduled a demo ride with the Livewire, and I typed in my zip code. You know, I live in San Jose, so there's San Jose Harley Davidson. Okay, and they have 4 Livewires. You know, I don't know. I went on their website and I saw that they had like Livewires. So I like the black one, by the way. We'll talk about what it looks like in a bit. But anyway, yeah. So I went there. I scheduled the ride, and then I got no reply. And then I scheduled it for Monday. It's like Wednesday now, and I got no reply. Okay. And then I did get a reply. I did get a reply on Sunday, I think. A day or two before the scheduled demo. What am I doing? I'm going on the bikeway. A day or two before the scheduled demo ride, I got an email from Harley Davidson saying, "Did a dealer contact you about your demo ride, Merlin?" And I put, "No, they did not," because I'm being truthful. No, they didn't. And I was already like, you know what? I kind of don't want to ride it already, and it's all smoky and stuff. Well, today is a great day to go riding, so I went to a doctor's appointment at the VA Palo Alto Hospital, and I said and I had to go to Cycle Gear on the way home. Okay, so this is Wednesday, 2 days after my scheduled demo ride, and then what happened? What happened is I decided, hey, I gotta go to Cycle Gear. I gotta go buy something at Cycle Gear. They didn't have what I wanted, by the way, and then that's what it was. So I was like, hey, Harley Davidson is right next to Cycle Gear. Why don't we go over there and ask him if we could do a demo ride? So so that's what I did. After my doctor's appointment, I went to Harley Davidson and I went to go. I took my KLR 650. I parked it there, and then immediately somebody from there, that I forgot his name, but he asked me if I needed help. I said I want to do a demo ride, and it's like, oh yeah, we can help you with that. In fact, just follow me, and I did. I followed him in. He signed me up for a demo ride, but you know what? I had to kind of twist their arm a little bit to get me to do the demo ride, because what was the thing? He told me were you interested in buying it, or you just want to take it out for a joyride? And I told him, I just want to take it out for a joyride. I straight up told him, that's the second one, the second option. I just wanted to take it out and see what it's like, And he's like, yeah, well, let me see if we can do that. And then he said yeah, you know what? I actually told him a couple months ago I tried to come by and do it, but they didn't let me. And he said yeah, at that time, I guess I could understand the bike is new. They don't want to let anybody just let anybody ride it, And then and then fast forward to now, and then he's like, yeah, just recently they just started letting us do demo rides, for whatever, So I was like, okay, cool. Well, sign me up. Sure enough, he signed me up. Okay. And he had all my info and stuff, because it was already in the computer from last time. I had actually did the credit check last time too. So this is the most I had to do to do a demo ride, man. The most work I had to do. There was another SF Moto had me actually put a credit deposit, like a credit hold or something, like they hold your money or something. And what was it? Yeah, to do a demo ride, they had me do that, and then they just let me demo ride whatever bike I wanted. It was freaking dope. After that, so that's the second hardest I've had to do demo ride. Now Harley Davidson is the hardest. Okay, well, if you were trying to ride like a Japanese bike, they don't really do that, because they don't need advertisement, They don't need a demo ride to sell bikes, Japanese bikes, because they sell them left and right like hotcakes. So yeah. Anyway, so they had me go on a demo ride with Brandon. Brandon went on a black Livewire, and I rode on the orange one. And he showed me how to start it. You gotta flip the kickstand up, and then you flip the starter button, and it goes. And it turns on, but you don't know it's on. It's like you turn the computer on, type of thing. And then I twist the throttle a little bit, and sure enough, it moved a little bit. So there we go. So what am I gonna say? What happened after? We went on a demo ride. I went on a demo ride at Brandon. It was basically, they told me it was a 4-mile loop. Basically, we rode around the block. We even rode past the BMW dealership, man. And he got on it a couple times, kind of like that, Boom, like that, Boom, like that. Woo! Just enough speed to catch up to the traffic, type of thing. So he got I'm glad he let me, get on the throttle a couple times. It's not like we were breaking the speed limit or anything, but he was just showing it. What's this? The first thing I would notice is the sound of the bike. So what does the bike sound like, HadesOmega? You know what? It sounds a lot like a Sur Ron Light Bee. That's what it sounds like. After riding my Light Bee just now. Oh, there was the nail on the ground. Yeah, after riding the Light Bee, I could tell you it sounds very similar to the Light Bee. Maybe it's quieter than the Light Bee. It sounds like a zero bike, but louder. Okay. They went to great lengths to make the bike make noise. So while the Energica has like a supercharger winding sound, what the hell, dude? The Livewire has it sounds like the Impulse, okay? That's what it sounds like. It sounds a lot like my Impulse. That's what it sounds like, okay? Or it does sound like a lot like the Light Bee, okay? So, the Light Bee has a primary drive, a belt primary drive, and then a chain drive, okay? Where the Harley Davidson has I think it has like a gear reduction system. It has a gear reduction system, much like the Energica, I think, and it has a belt drive for a secondary drive, okay? So, that way you don't have to have like a monster sprocket on it or anything. So, like the Zeros. But where the Zero makes no noise at all, if you want a totally silent riding experience, the Zero is the bike for you. Okay. HadesOmega likes a little bit of noise. Okay. So I thought the Harley, actually, what the perfect sounding electric bike to HadesOmega is? The Impulse, the bike that I own. It makes just enough noise where I can hear it, and it sounds nice, I honestly think the Energica sounds a little too loud. Okay, I thought the Livewire sounded a lot like an Impulse, but minus you have to changing gears and stuff, So it's a single speed direct drive type of deal. So basically, like the Light Bee, you twist the throttle, and it goes. Okay. Yeah. So that's the sound I can tell you it makes. It's a little bit louder than a Zero. A little bit louder. It sounds a lot like an Impulse. Okay, that's what I noted. I did note that it's a very, I already knew this, but it's a very sporty riding position. The pegs are kind of high up. Your knees are kind of bent. It's still kind of got a mid control. It doesn't have it doesn't have like a rear set like a sport bike, but it's a very sporty riding position. And they market it as a power cruiser. That's what they call it. I don't know what a power cruiser is. It's probably a sporty. It's probably like a V-Rod, a sporty cruiser is what it is. Okay, and yeah, I felt they had like mid controls. That's what I would say about mid controls. They're kind of high up. Your knees are kind of bent a lot, and then you're leaning forward quite a bit. You're probably leaning about the same as you are in the Energica Eva. Okay, it felt kind of similar to the Eva, but it felt kind of lower than the Eva. It is also a low bike. The dude I rode with, Brandon, he could flat-foot it. I could see he's not as tall as me. So, but I'm 5'10", 175 pounds, and I could heel foot that bike. Okay, so those of you that are kind of shorter riders, you could probably ride it. Okay. Also, one thing I did note is the bike is very narrow. It's probably one of the narrowest electric bikes that I've ridden. Maybe like the SR is probably about that narrow, but it just it gave me that feeling that it's like kind of long and narrow, and you're kind of, crouched down in like a sporty riding position. I did note that you could tuck on the tank. You could tuck. It's not as comfortable as the Energica tucking, but yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, I would say it's kind of like, yeah, it's like a drag bar. It's like a drag. It had like a drag bar sort of. It feels like you're riding with a drag bar. You're kind of leaning forward a little bit, So yeah, I thought it was comfortable. It was kind of clackety. The cool thing actually about being able to ride with Brandon is that you guys could see a Livewire ride in third person. So, and you could see him get on the throttle too. So definitely when he got on the throttle, I knew he got on the throttle, and Merlin knew. Follow him. So thanks, Brandon, for getting on the throttle a couple times. I know
I know they made us go on like some kind of lame route, but like, I think he did everything he could to show me like how the bike handled and everything. So with the limited route that we took, okay, it was kind of lame, I'm not gonna lie. The controls are kind of funky. There's just so many buttons on it, you know. I'd imagine if you do own the bike, you probably get used to using all the buttons and stuff. Yeah, there was a lot of buttons on it, buttons and doodads, like way more. It's like I felt like I was riding like a Honda Goldwing or something. You know, there was so many buttons on it. It has the kind of trademark Harley Davidson turn signals. There's a left one and a right one, and then it automatically cancels. So I did know that beforehand. And I think it does have cruise control. It has some kind of Bluetooth thing. I didn't get to mess around with any of that stuff. I didn't get to do anything with the operating system. You know, nothing. None of that stuff. I didn't have enough time to do that. It did, from what I could tell on the speedometer, there's a big speedometer display in the center. It kind of reminded me of the Energica a little bit. I think the Energica one looks a lot cooler, but maybe you could customize it. I'm not sure. Like the Indian FTR, that has a rad display. I think the Harley Davidson was kind of similar to that, you know. What else? Yeah, I think it had cruise control. I didn't get a chance to try it though. It felt like at the speeds that we were riding at, it didn't feel very noisy at all. It did feel a little more noisy when I tucked in though. Yeah, and I thought it was a pretty solid bike. I didn't really get to test its handling all that much, but it felt really comfortable to ride. The bike felt really narrow too, so like you could kind of flick it around with your thighs, you know, if you wanted to, kind of like a dirt bike. But it's definitely not a dirt bike. How they accessorize the bike, or set up the bike to do long way up, I'm really interested, because I don't think I would want to ride that thing in the dirt, man. I would definitely fix the ergonomics. So that's the noise, how it felt. I couldn't really get a good feel for the handling, but it seemed like it handled okay. It was a narrow bike. It kind of felt like it was long and narrow, and you're crouching forward with your knees up in the air. It sounds like a zero bike, but louder, okay? A louder zero bike is what I'm going to say, okay? Because the zero bike makes like no sound at all. It does kind of make a little bit of a sound, but it felt pretty solid. Yeah, and that's all I could say about it for now. I did test the mirrors out. The mirrors seemed okay. They were these kind of bar end mirrors, kind of like this, but a little bit bigger. They seemed to work okay. The seat seemed pretty comfortable, and that, you know what? That's all I can say. That's all I can tell you for that demo ride. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and this video, like this, that's kind of my thoughts on it. Also, if you want to learn more about my San Jose Harley Davidson demo ride riding experience, I'll put up that vlog at the end of this demo ride video. so yeah, I had to add the second video because I didn't really get to talk much about it during that demo ride. So I got to talk about it after the demo ride. So I thought it was a good bike. Do I think it's better than the? Yeah. Okay, so here. So would HadesOmega buy one of these bikes? Well, aside from my poor customer experience at Harley Davidson, I would not buy a Livewire because it's too expensive. I could get a bike that's just as fast as a Livewire for two-thirds of the Livewire's price. Okay, that's the Energica, and same thing with the SRS. The SRS is in about that same price arena. You know, out of those three bikes, which one would I buy the most? Probably the Energica. Okay, but the SRS is not far behind because of the price. Did I feel that the Harley Davidson Livewire was worth the extra $10,000 more than an Energica or SRS or SRF premium, premium super bikes? No, I don't think it's worth the extra $10,000 because the Energica you get DC fast charging. I think the DC fast charging is faster than the Livewire. I will put a subtitle below what their differences are. Also, what was it? I'm pretty sure that the Energica is faster. The Energica has a bigger battery. I think the Energica has a bigger battery. I'll put a subtitle below. Oh yeah, I did ask how much range it gets, and they said you can get 120 miles range if you're riding it in the city. So that leads you to believe half of that. Half of that. Yeah, that's what my guess is. You'll get like 60 miles. 60 miles, that's how much my impulse gets. Yeah, I would think you would get 60 miles. Maybe you might be able to squeeze out 80 mixed or 100 mixed on it. I'm not sure. Like I said, I didn't have the bike long enough to comment on the range, okay? Yeah, I just couldn't. I just didn't have it long enough to tell you how far it goes, man. But they did tell me 120 miles is how far it'll go. I'll put all the specs at the beginning of the video, like the range and all that stuff. But I'll put the range and the subtitle below right here. They told me 120 miles in the city, I think, or not going fast. So that leads me to believe maybe you can squeeze out 80 out of it, maybe. But you do have DC fast charging. He told me it takes 30 minutes to charge to 80%. I guess if it's at 0% or really low state of charge, it takes 30 minutes to charge it to 80%, and then it takes 4 hours to charge it to 100%. I'm like, wow, that's a big difference. But that is because it bulk charges to 80%. Okay, you've got to taper off the voltage or the current as you get closer to the top end of the state of charge. Okay, I think that's the same thing for the Energica also. So you'll really only get it to 80% really fast. So and then you'll get it to 100% when you plug it in at home. Okay. That being said, the Harley Davidson Livewire can only charge at like level 1, I think. I'll put the link below. But yeah, you can only charge it at level 1 speeds, like J-plug level 1 speeds at J1772. It had the refuel, the J-plug or CCS. It has a CCS connector on the gas tank where the gas tank would normally be. The way you open is you press it and then it opens sideways. Okay. You know what? I kind of like that. I like it on the tank better. I don't like the Energica one where it's under the seat. You know. Whether it locks the J-plug in when you charge, I do not know. I know the Energica can do that, and I think the Zero SR can do that also. But yeah, it only charges at level 1. So already the SRS can charge at, I think if you buy the premium SRS, you can have the 6 kilowatt charger, and that's pretty fast. You can charge the bike in like an hour and a half almost. Yeah, an hour and a half. I think the Livewire, if you charge it from a J-plug, it's gonna a regular J1772, like even a level 1 or level 2 outlet, it'll take like 10 hours to charge. Take a long time. And the way Harley Davidson has it set up is so when you're out on the road, you just recharge at a DC fast charge station that has a CCS connector. When you want to get that fast charge, you know, when you're trying to go places. And then when you're at home, you have plenty of time to charge, so you plug it in. Honestly, I feel Harley Davidson, I think they're doing the right thing, you know. But would it kill them to have at least level 2 charging, 3 kilowatts at least, you know? Already the premium SRF and SRS can charge faster, and I believe the Energica can charge at 3 kilowatts also. Okay, and really you only use that for charging at home. But in the SRS's case, or SRF, you have, you know, that's your charging all the time. So yeah, I do want to point out that a regular J1772 charging stations are more plentiful than DC fast charge stations, and they're cheaper. So if you got a little bit of time to spare to charge your bike, it's much cheaper, and you could charge it faster if you had a Zero or Energica. Okay. Okay. Now that I've ridden all the bikes, I can talk about this stuff. But yeah, you can charge it to 80% state of charge in 30 minutes. So that is the good thing about the Livewire. That is the second bike that I've ridden that has DC fast charge. Okay. So way to go, Harley, on that. I think the ability to have DC fast charge was good. Okay. The weight of the bike, and I don't know how heavy the bike is. It didn't really feel that heavy when I was riding it. You know what? I should have asked them if I could ride it in the parking lot too for a little bit. I wanted to do it. I wish I could have done some slow speed riding maneuvers. I thought it didn't feel too heavy. It didn't feel like Energica heavy, because I felt that the weight was really down low on the Livewire. Okay, but I can't say it didn't feel heavy because I didn't do any like a U-turns or anything like that with it. So I just played follow the leader the whole time, you know. So the leader didn't do any really slow speed maneuvers. So yeah, I didn't really get a good feel for its low speed handling. Okay, so I can't really comment on that. So that's the way. If we were just to toss price aside, and if HadesOmega didn't know about the Energica or the Zero, did you have a good time riding the Livewire? Yes, I did. I thought it was a good bike. I liked it. I liked it. I wish I could have had it longer. That was not a long enough demo ride for me to tell me like, hey, I want to buy this bike, you know. So HadesOmega would not buy that bike just because the demo ride was too short and it's too expensive. Okay, but price aside, I thought it was a good bike. Okay, I thought, yeah, premium Harley Davidson components and all this and that. I thought it was all right. It was comfy, and it was a sweet bike. To date, I have not seen one on the road though. I don't think anybody's bought any. So yeah, I don't know what to say. There's that dude that has it on Twisted Road that is renting his. So maybe I might go do that sometime to do a more comprehensive ride review. But yeah. I mean, I have to applaud Harley Davidson. You know, they're going into new territory. They're going into a territory that is dominated by Energica and Zero right now. Okay, and many other brands are going to be coming to the market with electric bikes. So all I can say is, hey, you know, it's good that Harley Davidson got the Livewire out the door as fast as they could, you know. But I think it's a little too late because the Energica is superior to it. Ron, the dude I talked to at the dealership, told me otherwise. You know, the Harley Davidson is the dopest electric bike on the planet. I don't believe him. I don't believe him. Okay, so all right. So that was HadesOmega's demo riding experience. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was informative. That is what I could tell you. Okay, that's what I could tell you from doing that very short demo ride. Okay, that is what I could tell you about the bike. That's my honest opinion on the bike, you know, and its capabilities from that short demo ride I just did. Okay, I'm actually very fortunate that they let me ride it because it seems like you gotta offer up your kidney to go ride it, you know, or offer up your firstborn child to go ride a Livewire. Okay, so that's the experience that I got. Okay, Calmoto and San Jose BMW, they just said, here, sign the waiver, you break it, you buy it. Here's the bike. Okay, have fun. Also, another thing is oh yeah, it had a keyless fob. Okay, it had a keyless fob, so it has a smart key like a Prius. Okay, so you don't like a lot of new bikes, like BMWs have them. I think the Energica has it also. It is a keyless ignition system is what it is. Okay, so you have the little key fob. They had it hung up on the mirror so it would operate the bike. But yeah, that's another thing I wanted to note. It is a keyless ignition system. Okay, and I did get to operate the operating system on the bike the first time I tried to do a demo ride, and it does have some cool features and bells and whistles and stuff. But the Energica has pretty much the same stuff. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, I didn't get to mess around with the menus, the regen, the power settings. I think it was in sport mode when I rode it too. Okay, it was in sport mode when I rode it. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna say. So like I got the sport mode experience. I'm glad they didn't put it in some like, you know, lame power mode before I rode it, because it's like they're probably like, oh, this guy's not ready, man. I don't think we should put it in sport mode for him. Whether you can make the bike go faster or brake faster, I do not know. I didn't get a chance to mess around with the controls. I will tell you this: the Energica is still my favorite out of adjusting the controls on the bike. It's so easy. You just hit one of the buttons and then you select what ride mode you want and how much regen you want. It doesn't get any simpler than that, you know. I like riding that bike in sport mode and medium level regen. Okay. But the Livewire, I don't. It was just in sport mode. That's all I know. And it did have regen. Oh yeah. Let me talk about the regen. It did have regen. It did slow down a little bit. I think it had. I felt it had as much regen as. I felt it had as much regen as an SR bike. Whenever I demo ride the SR bikes, man, the regen is always so weak. You know. I thought the regen. You could barely notice there's regen. You know. It's really low regen. Is what I think. HadesOmega prefers more regen than what there was, okay? Like this. Oh, this guy. Like that. See, that's a lot of regen. Boom! That's a lot of regen, okay? You can really feel it slow you down, okay? The Harley Davidson regen, this is what it feels like. I'm gonna roll off about half of the regen that I just showed you right now. About that much, okay? Whether you can adjust that or not, I don't know, okay? But that's what it felt like on the Harley Davidson. It didn't really have a whole lot of regen, but it does slow you down, so it did have regen. I felt it was kind of like when I ride the Zero bikes, it's the kind of same regen as the Zero bikes have, okay? I don't know if it has, whatchamacallit, I don't know if it's linked to the brake at all. That's a good question. I don't know, as I think the Zeros are linked to the brake. So if you drag the brake, you can increase the regen on the Zero. Why they don't make anything like this, a regen throttle, I don't know. Because this thing is a awesome piece of kit to have, man. And no electric bike that I know of that in the market has this puppy right here, okay? So that's what my Light Bee has over the Harley Davidson, regen throttle. Okay, or any other electric bike for that matter. But yeah, so it did have regen. I'll make a comment about the regen, okay? So it did have regen, but it didn't feel very strong, okay? It didn't feel as strong as, say, my Impulse. My Impulse has stronger regen in sport mode, okay? Yeah, so, okay, so I went over the riding position, how heavy the bike is, how to charge it, like some charging statistics and stuff. I didn't get to mess around with the controls and stuff all that much. And that's the regen. And then would HadesOmega buy it? No, too expensive, and too expensive, and there's better stuff out there. All right, HadesOmega out.